Hello, welcome back to Beginning Belly Dancing. This time we're going to go with costumes and picking out costumes. So there's different kinds of costumes. There's hair pants and there's skirts and there's the choli tops, and then there's like the one piece that comes down and it has like a mermaid flare at the bottom of it. There's chiffon skirts, there's regular material skirts, embellished skirts. There's a whole different array of what you can put together. And really that's the wonderful thing about belly dancing, because you can mix and match things as long as it still looks good. So I have a few to show you. There's, this is a top, one of the tops that I used, and I had a part that would cover up all my cleavage, like a chiffon part, because I didn't want to spill out all over the place. And anyway, this is one of the tops, and it had sleeves on it. And then this is the harem pants that I used. And of course I bought them plain, and we embellished them with the sequins on them. So this is different sequins. This one has black and gold, and then this one has silver. And these harem pants are really nice because they came with the little brief bottom, the little bikini bottom. And so those worked out well. And then, now this is actually one set. So I have the choli top, and then I have a skirt. Oops, it's inside out. I have this skirt, which has two slits, the front panel and then two slits. And then there is the pants. Now I wore these separate, but there was a girl in our dance group that actually she wore the harem pants, which these don't have the little panties underneath them. You had to figure that out on your own. And anyway, she had the harem pants, the skirt, and the choli, and she would wear the pants underneath the skirt, and it looked really good. It looked really nice. And you know, it gives, the nice thing about chiffon is that it gives a hint of showing something without showing something. You're not spilling it out to the audience, and which is nice. It covers nicely and it shadows nicely, and it's a compliment generally to your body. And then of course there was the white veil that I had with that set. Now with the veils, we had a little cheat when we began working with the veils. We'd take a little piece of elastic and sew it onto the corner, and that way we just put it on our middle finger. And when we were learning how to twirl veils and stuff, we would we didn't have to worry about holding on to it. It was a little cheat. And then when you get better, then of course you can hold on to the veil. And then of course there's the more elaborate costumes. This is a skirt. It has one slit in it, and then of course there's the top here. And you know, you can modify your tops as much as you can, or your costume as much as you can, to make it look nice so it's appropriate for your body, because you don't want to have a a faux pas with your you don't want to have a mishap with your costume. You don't want to accidentally fall out of it. I mean, the audience will it'll appeal to a certain part of the audience, but overall you want the focus to be on the dance, not necessarily your body, but how well you are a dancer and your dance, the choreography, stuff like that, and then the entertainment that the audience is getting. That's where you want the focus to be. And then of course here's a black one, and this also has one slit to it. Now the thing about the slits in the skirts, or even in the pants, you have to be aware of where your costume is going to lay as you move through your dance. And also there could be, like, some skirts are tight, so they could limit your movement up in your hip area, so you can't make your big leg movements that you might want to make. Or even when you're moving around doing your dance, it might restrict you. So that's just stuff to be aware of. Now, shoes. So shoes or no shoes. Shoes are great. I mean, you can wear a heel as long as you can walk in them. Just make sure that you can walk in the heels that you are wearing and that you can dance in them. If you're not going to wear shoes, every time you pull your feet up or you point your toe or something, when your foot is not flat on the ground, your audience is going to see probably a dirty foot. And that kind of takes away from the dance. So if you want to go barefoot, that's fine. A lot of belly dancers go barefoot. But also be aware, if you're going barefoot, where are you dancing? And like if you're dancing in a restaurant or in a public place, there could be glass on the floor and you could cut your foot and then that would, hurt, and then you'll bleed all over the place. So, just be aware of those things if you're going to go barefoot. If you're going to wear shoes, heels are good, or whether it's a spike or a wedge, or even flats. And I used to wear these flat slippers. I mean, I had to be aware that sometimes the heel would come off, and it was fine. They would still stay on, and I could still finish my dance, and most of the time people never noticed. So, and it still looked good, and it covered up my feet okay. So just be aware of whether you should wear shoes or whether you should not wear shoes. And then there's jewelry. Make sure you pick the right jewelry. So if your costume is embellished like this, you might not need a necklace. You might need like some smaller earrings or something. You could wear long earrings, but just be aware that as you move and your costume and all of its jewelry is moving around, it can get tangled. And you don't want this flipping up and getting tangled on your earring or something if you have long earrings on. You just have to be aware of that. So always, always, always do a dress rehearsal. and then, okay, so music and costumes. So basically what I did was I started with the music. So I'd pick out a musical number, and then I would go into starting the choreography. And then I would kind of have an image of what that song is going to be like. Sometimes I would finish the choreography, or I would, sometime after I started it, how many turns I was going to have in it, where I was going to generally perform it. And then I would go pick out the costume. So if I was going to have a lot of turns in my dance, then I would probably pick out a skirt, because as I'm turning, it adds to the dance. It goes out and it adds to the dance. So if I'm going to be in a hall, or on stage, or not on stage, but dancing in like a restaurant, or round tables or something like that, I might not want a flowing skirt. I might want to go with. So always do a dress rehearsal, so that way even with your earrings and your makeup. So that way like if you put your shirt on or whatever, or you have to, if you're doing more than one number and you're changing your costume, your makeup might rub off onto your costume, and you need to know that before you're going to go out there and start performing. Or maybe, some of the danglies on your costume are going to, flip up, and maybe they're going to get tangled up with each other. And that's something that you need, to be aware of. So always, always, always do a dress rehearsal and have fun with it. And make sure that, it accents your body. It looks good on your body. So thank you so much for subscribing and for watching my videos. I have more videos to come, and like I said, I'm going to do close-up videos. So belly rolls close-up, sword dancing close-up, just so that I can get a little bit closer to the camera, so that you can see more of the muscular movements that go on, and more of the expertise that you have to have as you sharpening your skills. So if you have any comments, please put them down below, or questions, please put them down below. I will respond to them as need be. And remember, you are beautifully and wonderfully made.